DEFCON 1, DEFCON 1, begin drill. That's actually what this phone kind of conveys if you look at it here. Because if we look at it here, if you ever heard of the term the football, that's what the nuclear phone's called that the president uses. And I believe it's a red phone. I think it looks more like a Model 500 or 1500 phone.
Yeah, it's like touch tone, but it's built like those old rotary phones.
Yeah. But anyhow, with this particular model, we're going to look at this one. And we'll start, I guess, on the back. There's your RJ11 port right here. You can plug it in. And this is really industrial. This is like solid metal. And you can see ACIP, Bell property, not for sale. Property of Northwest Bell, not for sale. Bell system property, not for sale. It really emphasizes that it's not your property, that you really have no ownership, and that you will rent this each month from the Bell Corporation if you want your communications. Then on the side, we have an 800 number, and we have July, is that 31st, 1985? Is that what you see?
Yes.
So around the 4th of July, that month, they were granted their sovereignty here, because it looks like to me this phone was probably built in 78. You see how it says 78 right there? August of 78?
Yes.
That's my guess. So they had 7 years of surrendering their sovereignty to the corporate overlords that were the Bell Corporation. Now, I really liked Ma Bell, and I really felt that they created a lot of innovation and a lot of growth, because they had in 1956 a legal patent ruling from the Supreme Court that all their work they had to license out, and they had to allow others to build on. And that's where we got Unix and C++ and Linux and all these different operating systems. They originated from Ma Bell and their system. So here again is just kind of the phone. And we did a little stretch exercise. I was able to get this here. How many feet would you say that was? Maybe 50 feet? 10 feet? It was a ways.
I would say about 15 feet.
15 feet, okay.
Yeah. You could probably have stretched it to 20 if you really try.
Yeah, but it could go far. I mean, this is kind of a quasi-cordless phone. Look at all that cord. Yeah. We rolling in cord. Do jump rope in cord.
Yeah.
But
make a good whip.
Here we go. Here you see the phone number is this 319 phone number. They have this really strong thing here on a spring that blocks your, it hangs up. You see, it just kind of go boom, boom. Got that, and it's really solid. And then these are really what I would consider electromechanical buttons. It also says trim line right on there.
Let's get a good shot of these. Look at how long these buttons are. Like when you push these buttons, you really feel like you're pushing a button.
It's not this quasi tap bullshit stuff that a lot of this stuff is. You know.
Yeah, these days buttons are like really shallow. Like, you know, even like keyboards on laptops, they don't really feel like, they're not like the old keyboards where you're really tapping and making a lot of noise. They're just like really shallow, and they don't really feel. And now it's getting even worse with like touch technology.
Well, yeah, shit. Even the buttons that look like buttons, they're almost quasi-touch.
Yes.
You know, you might as well just call it that. But it says trim line on there. It was a trim line phone. And it's a pretty cool one. I got it for $3 at a thrift stop around here, which is a really good deal for something that kind of tight and cool, and you know, it's different than any other phone that I have. And I like the red.
Yeah, and the
Fire engine red.
Yeah, it is a very pleasing shade of red, and Deviant Historian collects phones, so you know this was kind of a no-brainer for him. I mean, he's got a pretty respectable phone collection at this point, and he's into telecommunications and you know, things like that. So it was for $3. I feel like that's a pretty good buy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. I mean, it's in pretty good shape too. If you consider it's just probably like 40 years old.
I think this is the first wall phone that you bought too.
I'm not a huge wall phone fan. I've had a lot of opportunities to buy wall phones in the past, but I just don't like them. I prefer the desk phones and the other ones. But this was just such a cool phone that I'm like, man, for the price and for the stickers and for everything that it is, you know, and you can still lay it down. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the wall.
Yeah, it probably could lay down.
but it's like a tank of a trim line. It's like the trim line with like a protector and all that. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty solid. And it's also kind of cool here to see how it just shapes, the plastic shapes and that. So you can just, I mean, there was a fair amount of engineering, thought, design, and aesthetics that went into making something like this. And I grew up with a phone just like this, same buttons and everything. I hadn't seen it for a while, but when I saw these buttons, and I was like, oh, this is how we had our phone in our office growing up. But it was a brown phone. But it was just identical to this, just pretty much the same thing. So I think that about sums it up. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Well, sounds good. And yeah.